been given a lawful order to disperse. You have refused to follow this lawful order. At this time, please consider yourself under arrest for refusing to disperse. Please do not resist arrest or any other enforcement actions which could result in risk of injury which may occur. We will be utilizing physical ammunition.
Hey, what's up guys? My name's Sazeki, and today we have a lot to talk about. Some amazing news happening here in the city of Los Angeles, the beacon of our democratic nation. As some of you, most of you, maybe none of you know, there is some troubles going about in some faraway lands. You probably haven't heard about it, and that's why I'm telling you about it. There we go. But here's the thing. Some people that know about this are pretty upset. Like, they're kind of really mad at our government, and specifically college students. They're particularly mad at their own universities. Why are they mad at them? Well, it turns out that a lot of these universities, their institutions of higher learning, are actually invested, and they're profiting off of these companies who make these devices. Something you, me, most people in most of human history have never asked for, but our governments and lunatics absolutely love having as many as possible. The best way I could describe this kind of machine, this, new age magic, is if we ever decide that you're not our ally, or, you're not our friend, you can kiss your house goodbye in the simplest terms. But we're all Americans here, and we'll never have to worry about our own government, doing a couple kablamos on its own citizenry, right? It's not like, we're airing out our frustrations, we're airing out our grievances towards our government in the current affairs of things, and, boom. Never could happen in this country. Never. That is an impossibility, of course. But that is what brings me into today's subject. The Los Angeles Police Department and their cautious and methodical work to maintain law and order in the midst of a peaceful protest. Not being seen anywhere on site for over 3 hours, they used the power of God to keep a watchful eye as respectful, the most upstanding citizen, law-abiding citizens partied on and played with fireworks next to these protesters. It is, of course, by only chance or the hand of the devil himself that these fireworks would have been directed towards the protesters' encampment. Of course, only by mistake. There would be no malintent by these young gentlemen. Never. They have zero intention of harming these young protesters who are only standing up to terrible decisions made by their school. But, they're all Americans here, right? So they're all acting completely civil. There is no wrong being done. But I must say, isn't it amazing how much of a hold the UCLA administration has on its campus to make sure that all its students are safe from harm, especially from outside belligerents? Of course, they would never allow outsiders, non-students, to enter into the campus and harm students. That would be insane. That would never happen. See, what we're seeing here is just a bunch of students, just having discussions in the nicest way possible, right? I would call them discussions. They are very heated, but they're very lively at the same time. See, the thing is, they don't need to take any safety precautions to protect the student protesters. Why would they? They are outstanding gentlemen, simply trying to break down barriers and form new lifelong lasting bonds. Of course, they're just trying to make friendships here, guys. They're trying, to break these walls and, make new conversations happen and new understandings so we can all get along. That's right in front of us. And we are all just trying to, burrow up this false narrative of violence. Come on, there's nothing there to see. Like here, look at this video here. Do you see what I see? These guys are so excited to share materials to fortify these encampments that, it does seem a little enthusiastic and, they get a little sleight of hand. Whoops, whoop, we booped your head. No, you're all right, man. Of course, that was a love tap. Like, of course, there should be nothing to worry about, man. Like, the thing is, if you check this from a different angle or this other angle, you can obviously tell how much these guys are trying to show their empathy. They're trying to show how non-callous and understanding they are as people to others and their convictions. Of course, that's what it is. Duh. It's like if I show you all these different angles and you're not seeing a compassionate guy, what else can I do for you? Do you get me? Like, how far are you gone to be calling this man or this man thugs or violent people? No, dude, those are calm, level-headed human beings just trying to get civil action done, right? In the name of the state, of course, but, civil action nonetheless. Here, let's play this over. Let's play this over. Yeah, pussy. Yeah, like Puss in Boots, bro. Come on. Think about that shit. I know it took me a second as well to understand what the fuck he's talking about. Because is he calling himself a coward? Is he calling his boys little children for ganging up around another person? But no. It's just a compliment. We just don't get it. We just don't get it because these guys are operating in such a level that an insult to us is a compliment to them, right? That's the only way I could take it, right? Because I don't know personally what else they could be meaning, right? I see 5 dudes surrounding one dude. You can really tell, especially my guy in the red here is ready to share everything he's read about how it's the American vassal state who's actually the one being oppressed. They're the ones that need our help. Like they haven't gotten another bill supporting billions of dollars of military support to them. I don't know. Maybe he's just, a very worried person about the safety of our Jewish brothers and sisters all around the United States from anti-Semitism. See, what I can't leave to my own personal opinion is the fact that you can actually thank UCLA administration and the molasses slow 3-hour response from the LA Police Department to break up this scuffle between the protesters and their agitators. Who's to say who started it, though? It's impossible to say. These protesters are just always, just spiting people by, existing and protesting Israel, right? It was only bound a time that people that just absolutely love apartheids, they were going to come up and be like, yo, why are you trying to yuck our yum, dog? What's going on, bro? All right, let's actually check out what the Los Angeles Times have to say about the situation, yeah? After a violent night at UCLA, classes canceled at UC president launches investigation into response. Here's something weird. I don't remember this being the title the first time I read this article. Huh. That's a little odd, isn't it? I wonder why they would change that. Oh yeah, that's right. It's because it's the LA Times, guy. It's fucking liberal media. They're always gonna try to distract you. Come on, look at this title. This is lies. These are lies, man. They're trying to put the blame on our outstanding heroes, the agitators. The ones that are truly standing up for what's right. They're still trying to show support to these terrorists. It's insane. It's insane, dude. Here, let's see what this vile newspaper has to say about the situation, because I'm sure they're gonna paint our heroes, our good men, in such a bad light. UCLA was reeling Wednesday as after hours of violence that unfolded overnight at a pro-Palestinian encampment. Why not pro-Hamas, huh? That's pro-Hamas. Why do you guys keep calling it pro-Palestinian? It's disgusting. They're supporting terrorism. Heightening concerns about the university's handling of the protests over the Gaza war and the future of the camp. This is a war for Israel. How else are we supposed to build more houses, huh? God damn it. Do you not understand how expensive land can be? Do you not understand how much, trouble it is to build up? Us as Americans have so much land, but little Israel only has so much land. And what are they supposed to do? Huh? Invade Lebanon? They failed. Come on. Like, why don't you have any actual empathy in your heart to understand that Israelis need to build houses? Just like you and me, they need to build houses. And you don't even have to consider that they have to take out bones and old furniture and pictures of people that are dead. Do you have to understand how scarring that is for somebody to have to do that to make their own home? Insane. Where is your sympathy for these good people? When they break ground on what used to be somebody else's home just a year ago, do you not feel the pain in their heart? Just something to consider, man. Just something to consider, please. Just before midnight, a large group wearing black outfits and white masks arrived on campus and tried to tear down the barricades surrounding the encampment. Campers, some holding lumber and wearing goggles and helmets, rallied to defend the on-site's perimeter. Over several hours, counter demonstrations hurled objects, including wood and a metal barrier, at the camp and those inside. Fights repeatedly broke out. Some tried to force their way into the camp, and the pro-Palestinian side used pepper spray to defend themselves. Fireworks were also launched into the camp. Whoa. Wow. See, they're just saying, they just did it on purpose. Do you see what I'm getting, man? They're gonna frame this shit and blame these good men for, standing up for our government. The attack went unencountered for 3 hours until dozens of officers from the California Highway Patrol, LAPD, and other agencies arrived and restored order. The slow response sparked criticism and calls for investigations. In a letter to the University of California Board of Regents obtained by The Times, UC President Michael V. Drake wrote that there is a sufficient confusion surrounding the violence that he was ordering an independent review of the university's planning, its actions, and the response by law enforcement. UCLA Chancellor Gene Block called the incident a dark chapter in our campus history and said the university was carefully examining our own security processes in the light of recent events. The question looming over the campus now is the fate of the camp. On Tuesday evening, UCLA has declared the camp unlawful and in violation of university policy. I'm sorry. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's fucking fantastic. Isn't that so great? It took them this long to deem it unlawful? What? It took until we, as the good people of this country, stood up to these terrorists and, they started causing a ruckus. It's bro, we were just giving, like I just said, they were just trying to give them materials, dog. They were trying to help them. And these guys don't understand when somebody's helping them that they started attacking them. It's insane. It's insane. Liberal media is always trying to lie to you, man. Wow. Now that, outsiders have made the point that these protesters should not be protesting, I guess, the school has finally had the balls, has finally had the cojones to make the right decision. Straight up. No, they made the best decision possible. In his letter to the regents, Drake and Block told him the university will dismantle the encampment, which has erected last week in a demand to divestments from Israel and an end to the country's military actions in the Gaza Strip at the appropriate time. It is unclear how many people were injured in the incident. None. There was no injuries. Come on, bro. Drake wrote in his letter to the regents that 15 people were hurt. However, demonstrations said 25 members of their group were taken to the hospitals for treatment. I doubt that. Come on, bro. Come on. See, again, they're just bullshitting you, bro. There's nothing. There's no injuries. Come on. A 26-year-old man suffering from a head injury was taken to the hospital by paramedics, according to the Los Angeles Fire Department. Oh, sure. As the violence unfolded, students were tending to one another, treating eye irritation and the other injuries inside the camp. Yeah, they probably pepper sprayed themselves. Ha, dumbasses. UCLA officials decried the violence and said they had requested help from Los Angeles Police Department. It is unclear whether the police made any arrests. UCLA police did not respond to the request for comment, and a spokesperson for the LAPD declined to comment Wednesday. Horrific acts of violence occurred in the encampment tonight, Liars. When we immediately called law enforcement for mutual aid support, Mary Osako, vice chancellor for UCLA Strategic Communications, said in a statement. The fire department and medical personnel are on the scene. We are sickened by the senseless violence and it must end. There was only a handful of university police on campus when the violence broke out. A group of private, unarmed security guards observed the clashes but did not move in. Around 1:40 a.m., police officers in riot gear arrived and some counter-protesters began to leave. But the police did not immediately break up the clashes at the camp, which continued despite the law enforcement's presence. So, yeah, exactly. See, because there was no violence, bro. Why would the police stop anything that didn't happen, right? Like, that's because, or else they'd just be not doing their job. And the police department always does their job, right? In protecting and serving and maintaining law and order. They always do. They always protect and maintain law and order. So why would they go in there to stop whatever's not actually happening? There's no violence, man. It's just a bunch of arguing, bro. Come on. There must be a full investigation into what occurred on campus last night. LA Mayor Karen Bass said on Wednesday, those involved in launching fireworks at other people, spraying chemicals, and physically assaulting others will be found, arrested, and prosecuted, as well as anyone involved in any form of violence or lawlessness. A camp representative said the counter-demonstrators repeatedly pushed over barricades that marked the boundaries of the encampment, and some campers said they were hit by a substance they thought was pepper spray. A counter-protesters attempted to pull down the wood boards surrounding the encampment. At least one person could be heard yelling Second Nakba, referring to the mass displacement and dispossession of Palestinians during the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Daily Bruin News editor Catherine Hamilton said she was sprayed with some type of irritant and repeatedly punched in the chest and upper abdomen as she was reporting on the unrest. Another student journalist was pushed to the ground by the counter-protesters and was beaten and kicked for nearly a minute, she said. Hamilton was treated at the hospital and released. I truly did not expect to be directly assaulted. I know that these individuals, at least the individuals who initiated the mobilization against us, knew that there was journalists. While I did not think that protected us from harassment, I thought that might have prevented us from being assaulted. I was mistaken. Around 3 a.m., a line of officers arrived at the camp and pushed the remaining counter-protesters out of the quad area. The police told people to leave and face arrest. See, this is all Pallywood, dog. Like, come on, bro. All fake, dog. All fake. You can't believe anything this liberal media is ever gonna be showing you, bro. Like, if you're not there, like, nothing is real. Nothing is real, bro. Ananya Roy, a professor of urban planning, social welfare, and geography, echoed concerns about the university's lack of response when faced with a violent counter-protest. It gives people impunity to come on our campus as a rampaging mob, she said. The word is out that they can do this repeatedly and get away with it. I am ashamed of my university. Hours after the violent episodes, students on campus were still shaken. Campus security and the CHP were working to fortify all entrances into the encampment. Hannah Apple, assistant professor of anthropology at UCLA, stood at a staircase adjacent to Royce Hall, where she allowed people bringing medical supplies, clothing, and water into the encampment area. Because of the escalated violence last night, we have to be very vigilant, careful about who can come in and out, Appel said behind a makeshift barricade. Assembly member Rick Chavez-Sabur, whose district includes the UCLA campus, criticized university administration in a statement Wednesday, saying they had failed to protect their students. Yeah, ooh. What? No, dude, they didn't fail. Come on. Like, I don't know. Like, see, this is so annoying, man, because they're just gonna frame it as like, hey, these crazy guys came in, like these students were not doing anything. They were supporting terrorism. God damn it, they were supporting terrorism. Like, don't be fooled. I know some of you Zoomies out there will be fooled by, like, seeing bombed buildings and like crying, Palestinian children. But do you ever consider of what type of shit these Palestinians try to pull, man? Have you ever heard of Pallywood, dog? You ever think about that shit? You ever heard about that? Yeah, it's here now. Like, Like, you can't be trusting anything, especially in the age of AI. But even then, especially with this, bro, like, they're gonna be trying to play you left and right, and you can't be trusting any images you see online, depicting violence, depicting, the loss of life, or, the destruction of people's homes. Like, you can't be trusting those images. That's just all AI. And Pallywood, bro, like, what do you think all of our money that we're donating into these people is going to? It's into that production, bro. Like, they have so many people lined up, ready to work, to make you think that this is all real. Like, that's how crazy this shit is, bro. I'm just glad that no one was injured in this incident, because as we all know, this shouldn't even be happening in the first place. It's just these people wanting a bunch of attention, so they're gonna do it by protesting the government, in our dumb, militaristic support to other nations. Yeah, who cares, dude? Yeah, they're just trying to get attention. That's all it is. Because as of this recording, I have yet not seen anything online of these injuries being sustained by protesters, because there isn't any. Come on. Have you never seen a love tap before? What? Like what? Dude, you've never disappointed your father? Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, like I said, these outside belligerents, nothing wrong, dude. They cause no harm, and they should not be facing any arrests or discipline. That's insane. That's insane. That would show that this country is truly a totalitarian government when true Americans are not able to stand up to terrorists. That's gonna be a huge sign to all of us what's going on in this country. I bet you now. And I say that because I know there's gonna be so many doctored images of all of these injuries, right? Of all like this violence. And like I said, you can't be trusting that, man. So yeah, keep your eyes open. Make sure that you are thinking for yourself and deciphering the bullshit that's coming around. Don't shit your pants just yet. We still have a long way to go to convince these protesters and all of their supporters that they should actually be so elated that the last refuge for Gazans in Rafah has begun to be bombed. That should give a smile to their faces. To know that these terrorists are actually about to be, wiped face off the earth. That should be good news. That should be amazing news. Like, it's insane, man. Like all this TikTok propaganda, right? For what? Just so they can see these terrorists as human beings, bro? Come on. We need to help them. So please, if you want to help spread the good word of subservience to the US government, sign up for my Patreon so I can do my very best to get more of these videos out to counteract and fight back the crazy left from lying to you and the rest of the world. And I always forget this bit. Thanks for watching, guys. My name's Sezeki. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any thoughts, please let me know. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. Peace.